Hey guys, wonderful day again today, and today I'm going to talk about the Canada Robeco Asset Management Company's first earnings call after their IPO listing on 16th October 2025. What's interesting to me is that they've had their first earnings call on 31st October, just about 15 days after their first, the day they've got listed. So I think that's quite interesting because they're dealing with a very competitive space. As an asset management company, they're dealing with a very competitive space because they're dealing with some, companies like HDFC, AMC, the Nippon AMC, Aditya Birla AMC, India's oldest mutual fund, Unit Trust of India, UTI Mutual Fund, Shriram Finance again. So they are dealing with these kind of peers. So for a company that is also, they're also, by the way, the second oldest mutual fund company in India. So they're dealing with quite a lot of goodwill. They're already dealing with a lot of history. They're dealing with a lot of, 3 decades of work produced for the people who have invested in their schemes. And for them to come for them to go public right now is very interesting to me, and I want to explore a little bit on that right now in the first half of the video, which is to talk about India's growth story, which is right now there's a rising retail participation. What do you mean by retail participation? People like you and me, if you're an individual investor, for you to like invest into these mutual fund schemes, you would be called a retail investor. So there's a rising retail investing pattern that's increasing every year on year basis, and there's a lot of kind of understanding and a lot of awareness created among people that there should be more financial inclusion from both women and men. So I think they're banking in on that investor confidence, and for them to go public right now couldn't have been a better time, in my opinion. To be able to like cash in on the popularity and the kind of PR that you get from an IPO, and to come out and say, listen, we are having this and so guidance for the next couple of quarters, and I'm going to share some of the guidance right now and some of the statistics that would make them ideal for going public at this stage of their at this stage of their company's trajectory. So what are those statistics right now? Let me just look into some of those statistics. For an AMC company, which is an asset management company, there are three factors, in my opinion, that would make them highly profitable. The first would be the assets under management. How much assets under management that they would have in their company would genuinely mean how much goodwill how much investor confidence there is in being able to invest into the schemes provided by the same asset management company. So for Canada Robeco, it's anywhere I think they've mentioned their numbers, which would be 1.18 lakh crore assets under management, which is not a small amount. Just to show that they've got some good numbers behind them. They've come with a lot of confidence in their first earnings call just 15 days after going public. The second numbers that I would say would be really, really cardinal in judging the performance of an asset management company is the quarterly, quarterly assets under management. How many SIPs, how many folios are coming in, and how many people they're onboarding. What is the customer churn? How many people are coming out of the funds? How many people are investing into the funds? What is the growth trajectory of all these funds, and how they're able to like inspire a sense of trust for the investors to continue investing in them. So that's the second metric. And the third metric I've just coincidentally just mentioned is the number of SIPs that are going in, the amount of SIPs that are coming in, and the number of investments that are coming on a disciplined basis monthly and quarterly. That would really show what kind of confidence an investor has in the company. So they're really confident. When I was reading the earnings call, I was very impressed to see that they were very confident with being able to share that here are our statistics, here is the growth trajectory, and this is the guidance for the next couple of months. So a little bit more about them, by the way. Canara Bank was the one behind the Canada Robeco Fund, the asset management company. The Canara Bank initially began in 1993, and sometime in 2007 they partnered with Robeco, which is a Dutch investment management company firm, and now it's become the Canada Robeco Mutual Fund Company, right? So there, the number of people, the people behind the Canara Robeco Asset Management Company are three players. The first is the Canara Bank itself. It has a 38% stake in, Canara Robeco Asset Management Company. And second is Oryx Corporation, which is what we would know as Robeco. Oryx Corporation is a Japanese corporation because which has taken over Robeco. So what's interesting to me is there's a pattern in Japanese investments coming into Indian markets. Why am I saying this is because a couple of days back I created a video on Yes Bank's SMBC Corporation's investment into Yes Bank, which is about 25%. To see more of Japanese involvement into Indian markets is very, very interesting to me, and I think there's a lot of patterns that I would like to explore, in the videos to come, and a little more proof would be able to help me understand that Japanese investments are very, very like they're very motivated to invest in the Indian story. And the third, the 25% that's left in Canara Robeco Asset Management Company's holdings is the public holdings, people like you and me. So it's this 25% that they're lending out to the Indian public while trying to go public in their IPO listing on October 16th. And it'd be very interesting to know how this stock is gaining in the quarters to come after after their first earnings call, which just concluded on October 31st. A little more numbers right now, which is that what are their growth levers? Okay, what are their growth levers right now? They've mentioned they have 26 schemes. And by the way, what I want to mention to you is all of those schemes are active schemes. There's no passive schemes. All of them are actively managed funds. And among those funds, among just 26 funds right now, 26 funds, there are 28% of those funds is coming from the direct channels. Okay, what do you mean by direct and regular funds, by the way? So for any asset management company, there are regular funds and direct funds, right? 28% of their assets under management come under direct funds. That means 72% of their assets under management come under regular funds. What happens is they have an entire battalion of people who are distributing their funds across India demographic. Speaking of India demographic, they were very clear about one thing, they were very focused about one very important thing throughout their first earnings call after going public, which is that they're not just focused on the B30 cities in India. They want to explore to tier 2 and tier 3 cities as well. To be able to say very confidently that they're not just focused on B30 cities in India, which is the top 30 cities in India, not top 10, I'm sorry about that. The top 30 cities in India, and to focus beyond the top 30 cities and expand through the distributor network, the mutual fund distributor network, by saying, hey, listen, here are our funds, here is our guidance, here are the kind of returns we are providing to you through each of these funds, here is what we're able to promise you, please invest in them. To say that they're able to generate that kind of goodwill through their distributors is not easy. It's not an easy task. And to be able to generate those numbers and then go public is something I'm very fascinated about, and I want to very keenly track this company in the coming couple of quarters. So that's it from my end in terms of my analysis, in terms of Canara Robeco Asset Management Company's public, the first, one of the first AMC companies that I'm tracking right now. The next company that I was just looking at some of the numbers against Canara Robeco Asset Management Company's peers, which is HDFC, Nippon, Aditya Birla, UTI, Shriram Finance, all these kind of very popular mutual fund schemes which are quite popular among the Indian public. To be able to say we are able to generate the same kind of progress before going public and even after going public, it takes a lot of confidence, and I'm very looking forward to see what's coming up for this company. Until next time.